Senator Carrie Ruud was originally elected to the legislature in 2002, began service in 2003, returned to the Senate in 2013 after the 2012 election. She has a total Senate time served of 10 years, total legislative experience 4,879 days. It is my honor to present Senator Carrie Ruud.
Well, thank you and good morning. It's not a funeral. It's a fun day. It's the beginning of a new adventure. So I was a small town mayor elected in 2002. I was one of the baker's dozen, one of the largest freshman classes ever. And even though we didn't know where the pencils were, we thought we were so smart. We thought we were so special. We even had shirts made, the baker's dozen. We had no clue whatsoever. And we gave Minority Leader Dick Day a lot of gray hair. And so today, we're the last of the baker's dozen, Senator Sinjum and Senator Rosen. So I was unelected in 2006. Isn't that the nice way of saying it, right? And I never thought I'd be back, but 6 years later, here I am. I had great role models and mentors back there. We had a chamber full of wonderful people. They helped me to cherish this institution and honor the dignity of where we sit every day, and to make sure that we keep those traditions. And I just want to tell you who those wonderful women were who were such role models to me. Jen Olson, Pat Pariseau, Claire Roebling, Linda Scheid, Becky Laurie, Julianne Ortman, Amy Koch, Yvonne Pretner-Solon, and of course, Bev Scalzi. They were wonderful to me. I was so fortunate to have those women just go before me. So I served 8 years in the minority and 6 years in the majority. And I remember being a freshman in 2012. I was in the minority with no seniority, with an office in the basement of the SOB, with the garbage chute behind me, and the mice. But I was so excited to be there. It didn't matter. I just was like, oh, pinch me, I'm here. So in 2016, I was elected into the majority. My gosh, dreams come true. And I had a beautiful third floor office, beautiful view. It's just gorgeous. And I had the mice. And I was still so excited to be there. So I tried to write down all the combinations that I have served under, being it majority, minority, DFL governor, Republican governor. I think it's dizzying, all the combinations that we can create. And I think I've done them all. Right now, just give me a little leeway here. I'd like to give a shout out to my former DFL housemate. He was my first housemate. I was elected a Republican with 2 DFL housemates, and that's John Mord. He's my dear friend. And John is suffering from cancer right now, so keep him in your prayers, because he taught me so much about how to be bipartisan and what that meant. And we represented the district in a wonderful manner. So I've been involved in so many pieces of legislation. That's what we're here for, right? We represent our people. And so I just wanted to talk about a couple, and I'll tell you why. So Drew Shadeen, the young woman in my district, was murdered in 2002. It was pretty horrific for me. She was in my son's wedding just before she was murdered. And it changed my course and my focus in this body. And the reason I bring that up is because the members of the Senate put their arms around me. They allowed me to sit on the Judiciary Committee. They allowed me to work on sex offender legislation and pass a strong bill. And it helped me so much to heal. And that body, all the senators were there for me. And I can't tell you how much that meant to me. So then I know we're not supposed to use props, right? But Osmic's not watching, so. This is the Minnesota Personal Protection Act, and we passed this in 2005. And the reason I bring it up, and I know it's it's a touchy subject for all of us, But the author of this bill, and believe me, this bill is 2.5 pages long, folks. That's all it is, the whole Minnesota Personal Protection Act. But I bring it up because the chief author of this bill was Pat Parasol, and she was in the minority. And she was allowed to carry this bill. And the other author is Carrie Ruud. And I was like, wow, this is so cool, I'm in the minority. And Dallas Sams, and Betsy Wergen, and Senator Tom Bach. This was a really hard subject, and we had to work hard in committee, and we wordsmithed, and we dotted the I's, and we crossed the T's, and it wasn't an easy subject to have, but we did it because it was what Minnesota needed at the time. In 2005, that was huge. We need to go back there. We need to be bold. We need to take that challenge. So one other thing that we did. So in 2012, we had the school trust program. The School Trust Committee. We kind of lost track of those lands, right? And so being in the minority, nobody really wanted this committee, right? It was like, oh, geez, what are we going to do with this committee? Nobody wants to sit on it. Let's give it to Ruud because, well, she's in the minority, so she'll have time to do it. So we took this committee and we ran with it. And there's so many members in this body who have worked so incredibly hard for the children of Minnesota. And the people in the House, the representatives of the House have worked too. And so we took this little committee, the little committee that could, and thank you, Senator Hoffman, because I know that it's your passion and I'm passing the ball to you, right? You can't let this one go. So when we first started, there was $527 million in the corpus, right? It was a nice money. We gave the schools $14 million a year, and it was great. They could use it for whatever they wanted. Well, since the little committee that could, there's $1.5 billion in that corpus today. And we gave the schools $36 million, $42 per pupil. That's in just a short period of time. And it was because we all worked together, because we all love the children. And when you can find an issue that we can all work together on, we can do amazing things. And so I want you to remember that. Be bold. Take the issues. Work together. We have lost that, and we need to get back to that because it's so very important for what we do. So chairing the Environment and Natural Resources Committee and having a gavel in my hand and the Legacy Committee is such an honor and a privilege of my lifetime. So when I fail retirement, and I will, I'm going to follow my passion into the environment, and I don't know what it looks like yet, but I'm going there. And now for my thank yous, and I kept them for last because I know I'm not going to get like everyone else. I probably won't get through this. Or maybe I will. But I want to thank the Lord for guiding my way every day and for being with me because that's how I get this job. And I see the pastors in the gallery, and they have been in my office in the tough times when I have a tough day, and we close the door, and they pray for me, and it lifts me up, and it sets me on the right course again. So my family, I probably talk to death about my family because I think they're just the most wonderful family, and I know you all do, but they're so special. And you know, when you look up and you see that cloud come over the dome and you get the shadow, I know that's my mom going, hey, watch what you're doing. Pay attention. So you know our families, they pound signs and they walk the parades and they do all those wonderful things for us, and they're home when we're not. And sometimes we take that for granted. So don't take that for granted because our families are our heart. And that's where I'm going to go. I'm going home to a wonderful family, and I look forward to spending some time, maybe not too much time. You know, my husband and I have been together for a long time, and two of us in the kitchen might not, well, anyway. So I want to also thank my staff. I've had wonderful LAs. Mary Gibbons was my first one, Brad Kusterman, of course, John Cotter, Lisa Handrick. And yes, Lisa, my speech is in 24 font, and it is not stapled. And for 10 years, my LA and my committee administrator and my friend, this is the hard one. He's an amazing individual, and he's made me look good every single day. And that's Matt Elfritz. He is just such a gem. I love you, Matt. So I would like to think through all of this that I've served with honesty and integrity And I thank my friends and my constituents in this chamber for giving me the honor to serve them and you. Thank you.